Launching a new product can feel like a total moonshot. The stakes are just incredibly high. And the difference between a soaring success and a really costly failure, it almost always comes down to one thing: the plan. So today, that's what we're doing. We're building that plan, your go-to-market blueprint. Let's get right into it.
It's a tough question, right? We've all seen products that look amazing on paper, they have all the right features, and they just fizzle out. A classic example? Think back to 2007. Nokia was the absolute king of mobile phones. Then, the iPhone arrived. Nokia just couldn't react fast enough, and their market share completely cratered. Meanwhile, Samsung moved nimbly, they embraced the change, and their market grew. See, the difference wasn't just about the product itself. It was about having the right strategy to bring it to the world. A great product is only the beginning. Without a real blueprint for your launch, even the best ideas can get totally lost.
So what exactly is this blueprint we're talking about? Well, it's called a go-to-market strategy, or GTM for short. And put simply, it's your step-by-step plan for getting your product into your customers' hands. It answers all the big questions. What are you selling? Who are you selling it to? Where are you going to sell it? And how are you going to reach them? You absolutely need one anytime you're bringing something new to the market.
So here's how we're going to build our blueprint today. We're going to walk through a systematic 9-step process. We'll start by laying the foundation, really understanding our product and our audience. From there, we'll get into crafting a compelling message and mapping out the entire customer journey. And finally, we'll dive into execution and see how all of these pieces come together to form a really powerful, integrated GTM system.
All right, let's start with Section 1, laying the foundation. This covers the first 3 crucial steps of our process, and trust me, if you get this part wrong, the rest of your plan is going to be built on shaky ground.
Step 1 is the most fundamental question of all. What problem does your product actually solve? Every single successful launch starts right here. This concept is called product-market fit. It's that sweet spot where your product perfectly satisfies a strong market demand. If you're not solving a real, specific problem for a specific group of people, you've basically built a key without knowing which door it's supposed to unlock. Okay, so once you know the problem, you need to know exactly who you're solving it for. And that brings us to step 2. We use 2 key tools here. First is the Ideal Customer Profile, or ICP. Think of this as the who. It defines the type of company you're targeting. But the buyer persona, that goes deeper. It describes the specific people inside that company. This is the what, the actual human being you need to connect with. Let's make this a bit more real. Imagine we're launching a new project management ad. A persona brings our audience to life. Our target isn't just some manager. No, it's the overwhelmed team lead. Now we can see their specific pain points. They're losing track of tasks in spreadsheets, they're struggling with remote collaboration. And we know their goals. They need a single source of truth for project status, they want to improve team efficiency. All of a sudden, we're not marketing to a vague concept, we're talking to a real person with real problems.
So, with our problem and our audience clearly defined, step 3 is a bit of a reality check. We have to look at the market. Who is already out there solving this problem? How are we different? And crucially, is the market totally saturated, or is there a real opportunity here for us? A competitive analysis isn't about copying what everyone else is doing, it's about finding your unique space to win.
With that solid foundation in place, we can move on to Section 2, crafting your message. This is where we take all that deep understanding of the customer and decide exactly how we're going to communicate our unique value to them.
A fantastic tool for this is the value matrix. It really connects everything we've done so far. You take your persona, the overwhelmed team lead, and their specific pain point. Then you match it directly to your product's value. And here's where the magic happens. From that direct connection, you create a powerful key message. Notice we're not talking about our app's features. We're talking directly to their frustration. That is the critical shift from just selling a product to truly solving a problem.
Okay, so we know who we're talking to and what we want to say. The next big question is, how do we guide them from simply being aware of us to actually making a purchase? That brings us to Section 3, mapping the buyer's journey.
Step 5 is all about understanding the customer's mindset at different stages. We often visualize this as a funnel. At the very top, the customer is just realizing they have a problem and they're starting to research solutions. In the middle, they're aware of you and now they're actively comparing your product to others. And then at the bottom, they're right on the verge of making a decision. You have to realize that each of these stages requires a totally different approach from you. So how do we act on this?
Well, that's step 6. We align our marketing channels to these specific funnel stages. For someone at the top of the funnel who might not even know we exist yet, things like SEO content and blog posts are perfect for grabbing their attention. For someone in the middle who's comparing their options, a detailed case study or a webinar can really prove our value. And for those at the bottom who are ready to decide, a free trial or a live demo can be that final push they need to say yes.
We've laid the foundation, we've crafted our message, and we've mapped the journey. Now for section 4, where the rubber meets the road. Execution. This is all about turning that strategic work into real-world action. And most importantly, measurable results.
The next crucial question is, how are we actually going to sell this thing? That's step 7, creating a sales plan. You could have a self-service model, kind of like most e-commerce, where customers just buy on their own. Or maybe you need an inside sales model where your team actively nurtures leads. Or you could even use a channel model where an external partner sells your product for you. The right answer depends entirely on your product and your customer.
You know, you can't hit a target you can't see. And that's why step 8 is all about setting concrete goals. The SMART framework is a fantastic tool for this. It forces you to make sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. This is what moves you from having vague hopes to having a clear, shared definition of what success actually looks like. And here's a perfect example of what that looks like in practice. In the first 6 months, generate 1 million total app downloads and 50,000 new user accounts. See? That's a SMART goal. It's specific, it's measurable, and it's time-bound. Then we track our progress toward that goal with key performance indicators, or KPIs, things like ad click-through rates or our trial-to-paid conversion rate. And the final piece of the execution puzzle is step 9, process. Because look, a brilliant strategy is absolutely useless without brilliant execution. This means having transparent processes. Your team needs a central place, a single source of truth, where they can coordinate plans, track progress against those SMART goals we just set, and communicate effectively. Success really depends on everyone knowing the plan and knowing their role in it.
So we've just walked through 9 steps, but I want to reframe this for a second. This isn't just a one-time checklist you complete and then forget about. The most successful companies think of this whole thing as an integrated, adaptive system.
This quote from Bain & Company really gets to the heart of it. The ultimate test of your GTM system isn't some spreadsheet or a PowerPoint deck. It's your front line, your sales, marketing, and support teams. Are they just following a script, or do they deeply understand the strategy? That human element, that passion and excitement, that's what makes or breaks the entire system.
And that's exactly why your blueprint can't be static. The market is always changing, competitors are always making moves, and customer needs are always evolving. A world-class GTM system is built to adapt. It has these fast, regular feedback loops that keep you in sync with the marketplace, allowing you to make quick, smart decisions and connect your strategy directly to the real, lived customer experience.
So I'll leave you with a final thought to take with you. As you go out and build your own GTM blueprint, ask yourself this one question. Are you building a plan that's just meant to last, or are you building an adaptive system that is designed to win no matter what the market throws at you? Because that difference, that's everything.